Hello and welcome back to Council Watch. It's been a bit quiet, hasn't it? Well, Wendy's been missing from quite a few meetings, so that explains that one. But something interesting happened this morning, and it relates to a planning meeting from a while ago. And there was nothing really very weird in the planning meeting. It was one of those ones where Jen Jones chaired, and it rattled through like mad. One of the things they spoke about, though, was about an HMO application. We've done HMOs before, but this one was a little bit different. It was an HMO application by an applicant from Great Yarmouth, I think, and it was designed for Sizewell C workers, which is a bit unusual because normally it's the asylum seeker thing, which obviously creates a lot of tension. But this one was to convert this building into an HMO. I'll remind you how it works. Now, remember that the way this system works is that you apply for planning permission to East Suffolk Council. They are the authority who decide yes or no. But what they do is ask interested parties what they think. So some of them might well be environmental organisations, or it could be Suffolk County Council, roads department, in case it's going to cause any road issues, or it could be Suffolk Fire if they think there could be problems with safety. And the public are also allowed to write in. And very often, when the public write in, they write in with completely the wrong reasons for rejection. You know, you can't sort of reject a property because it's going to be painted sky blue or pink. That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? But it's not actually a valid planning rejection reason. In this particular case, the property is in a flat saturation zone. And quite a lot of the people who wrote in noticed this, and they worded it sort of slightly differently, but the people who wrote in noticed that the application was for an HMO in the wrong place. Lowestoft Town Council are also a consultee, so that's how they got it on their table. And at their meeting, it was voted to reject it on the grounds that it is in a flat saturation zone. The sort of things that people write in are quite interesting, so have a look at these. So this is the main list of all of the consultees to the application. This is a typical one. Someone says it's a densely populated area. They're talking about cars on the street and parking. This one is actually in support. It's a great idea to bring working people into the town. Very valid point, but it doesn't count in a planning application. This one again talks about parking issues, especially when people have got more than one car per household, and Sizewell C people will have more than one car. This one mentions things about the number of rooms in the property, but it does, in its first line, say contravention of the Waveney local plan, which is the plan that says it's a flat saturation zone. It also says an addition of more HMOs will not contribute to the economic or social needs of the current residents. Yeah, that's true. But again, that's not really a planning material consideration, is it? But the flat protection zone is. This is the response from Lowestoft Town Council. The Planning Committee of Lowestoft Town Council considered this application at a meeting on the 27th of March. It was agreed to recommend refusal of the application as the property was in a flat saturation zone and conservation area. The Waveney local plan does not allow for conversion to multiple occupancy use in these areas. And that's what they actually voted for, and that was the thing. But oddly, at that meeting, there was some talk about the climate emergency. Now, you can forgive members of the public not realising that some comments they make won't count, but I just like this. We've got one little paragraph, a couple of sentences with the real reason for rejection. And then they've actually got this stuff about Lowestoft Town Council have declared a climate emergency. To support this declaration, the Planning Committee requests that when recommending approval of planning applications, the following measures are taken into account. Well, that's silly because they won't be. Renewable energy. Support for alternatives to car use, walking, cycling, public transport. That's just a bit of a silly thing to put in there. An encouragement for the management of land for nature. Yep, there's an awful lot of nature in London Road South. Resistance of the use of natural open space for... Where's that come from? Great in the Climate Emergency Committee, but completely pointless to put it in to a planning application comment. Support homes which are energy efficient, nature friendly and located close to public transport and amenities. Well, the Sizewell workers are not going to use public transport to get to Sizewell, are they? They're all going to have a car. And then they finish it off with consideration of biodiversity. How exactly that found its way into Lowestoft Town Council's response to a planning application for an HMO, I've got no idea. So there we go. Application refused. And the reason being, it's a flat saturation zone. Which, incidentally, if you look at all the comments on the planning portal, you'll find that an awful lot came from people who live in or around London Road South. And they've all pointed out that, it is a flat saturation zone. It's not allowed under the local plan, and East Suffolk Council correctly identified it and it got refused. I mean, that's what planning is all about, following the rules. Maybe not going on so much about the environment, but there we go. Anyway, I think that probably covers it for today. Let's hope the next round of meetings carry on as the previous ones have. Pleasant, fast moving, no confrontation and getting things done. And we all know the reason for that one. See you on the next video. Look after yourselves. Take care.